Here we go. Feel really weird when you're asleep in the middle of the day. Like an old man, finishing work and then having a nap.
You shouldn't be sleeping.
I know, there's something just inherently depressing about finishing work and just having a nap.
You're obviously just
Here we
getting
go,
old
we're
now,
on.
aren't you?
Hello all. We're just discussing how I had to sleep after work for an hour, like I was an old man. Brilliant. I should get into it more often, really. But obviously, welcome to everyone who's at the quiz. Let us know if it sounds okay. We've got a new microphone, so it should sound a bit clearer today, especially in the music round.
Yes.
And yeah, there's quite some nice questions today. Once again, most of them down to you because I've just been sleeping all day, sleeping and slacking.
Sleeping like you don't even bother waking, it sounds like. Hope everyone's alright. Happy Friday in lockdown.
Oh, well, hello to London City Nights, who I did a quiz of his on Tuesday.
I heard about
I got
that.
my ass kicked, didn't I? I came last. I was a gong farmer. So it was an amazing quiz. It was the first quiz I played with like a narrative thrust and costume changes.
It sounded awesome.
It was really good. It was really good.
Quite magical.
It was a good laugh. I did terrible at it though. And there was a point in the quiz where you had to choose between like questions on Mario,
Right.
or questions on, I think it was something to do with like embarrassing World Cup situations, and obviously we went with the embarrassing World Cup situations. I didn't do too well on that, weirdly. Oh, the cat's on the wander. Even in all, yeah. So we've got a couple of different rounds today, including a full guest round from Rupert, which is awesome.
Yeah, thank you. That amazing.
It was really good, and we've got a guest question as well from a few people. Oh, Rupert's just joined. Oh, that's awesome. I felt for you when that choice was made. Yeah. When just on that quiz when it was like, right, questions about the Mushroom Kingdom or embarrassing football moments, and I was thinking, come on, guys, come on, and then no.
So you didn't do well in the football moments.
Hello to Fire and Water 49. No, I didn't. Although they were really funny. Apparently, some guy had a bird quacked in his mouth when he was celebrating a goal or something. That just sounds horrible.
I thought they'd be quite lucky. They'd be like extra lucky, wouldn't they? I suppose.
I don't think his initial reaction was like, "Oh, that's really lucky." Oh, what a lucky moment that was in front of all these thousands of people. I bet no one will ever mention this again.
At least it was at the end of the match, was it?
I'm not sure. I've got absolutely no idea. So yeah, so there's this today. The quiz, if you've got pen and paper, the quiz is out of 31, which is a weird number. Let me just check that. 20, 25, 36. Sorry. There's one bonus question which we don't normally do, but I just felt like checking one in, so it's out of 36. And the first round is a usual 20 questions.
Yeah.
Game and general knowledge. The second round is
a round of characters in video games.
So guess the character. The third is our music round, which should sound really tasty with this microphone, and the fourth one is the mystery round, which we'll keep a surprise until we get to it.
Yeah, it's genius.
The goalie a goalkeeper as well in that quiz was the goalkeeper who injured his hands playing Tomb Raider the night before. Brilliant.
Professional.
Obviously taking his training seriously.
That's really cool. That's a cool bit of trivia.
So yeah, I guess if everyone's ready, we'll kick off.
Yeah, do you want to leave it a couple
minutes? Go on, let's do it then. I've got a nice strong vodka.
You don't feel quite tired today. It's a lot of boozing hard all day, isn't it?
You should have a little old man sleep after work like I do.
Yeah.
So it's so disorienting to wake up in the middle of the day. But yeah, there's been a lot of quizzes this week. I did the quiz with London City Nights, which I did terribly at, but thoroughly enjoyed. We did the Cineworld quiz, which was really good.
Yeah, that was really fun, wasn't it?
Did pretty well on that. And then obviously our quiz tonight. So it's been a pretty quiz-tastic week. So, good fun.
That's quite quizzy then.
Yeah, should we kick off? So, the first question. In which arcade game do you have to finish a round-the-world quest to destroy bouncing balloons that are terrorising several of the Earth's landmarks and cities? I'm not going to repeat that because it takes ages. What's that sound? I think that's a child. I think someone's being strangled, or it's a child.
I think it's the cat.
Really? That's a cat?
Yeah.
Christ.
Cats are fighting outside. And our cat is watching.
Yeah, watching with a cocktail in her hand. So, yeah, which arcade game do you have to finish a round-the-world quest to destroy bouncing balloons that are terrorising several of Earth's landmarks and cities? Classic. Well, that sound is amazing.
So, question 2, if you've got question 1. What year was the Game Boy released in Japan? Was it 1989, 1990, 1991 or 1992? So what year was the Game Boy released in Japan? 1989, 1990, 1991 or 1992?
I never owned a Game Boy, by the way.
You didn't know
No.
one?
Friend Alex used to have one, and I would like play it over there, but I would only ever play Tetris because he only had Tetris and another game, Choplifter, and I really don't like that game, so
you
I was
two had two
really
games.
limited to
You
just
played it
two
for his
games.
birthday and she didn't invest his pocket money in it, perhaps.
Yes, that'll do. He also had a copy of Bar called Battler. I didn't play that either, weirdly. Okay. Next question, question 3. Which actor voiced Adrian RIPBURGER in LUCASARTS' 1995 graphic adventure Full Throttle? Right, so which actor voiced Adrian RIPBURGER in LUCASARTS' 1995 graphic adventure Full Throttle? That is a game, again, it was really good at the time, but I'm pretty sure it had some mini games in it, and I reckon they'd be really irritating now.
I can't believe you don't have a Game Boy.
He's still reeling from that, are you?
Let me play mine if you want.
If you don't mind. I just never had one. I did briefly have a Game Gear. I don't know what happened to that.
Oh, I suppose because you would be a bit older than me anyway, when I didn't have a Game Gear, but I had a Game Boy. So which actor voiced Adrian RIPBURGER, is it?
Yeah.
In LucasArts' 1985 graphic adventure Full Throttle.
On to question 4. What name comes before Alpha Centauri, Colonization, Pirates, and Civilization? There's a name that, you know what it is. There's a name before those words. I didn't Americanize the spelling of colonization and civilization. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Or say pirates. Again,
Oh,
that
right,
sounds like
yeah.
a question with an exclamation. It should be like pirates. Yeah, that's it. We've had this conversation before on the quiz about that shop called What?
Oh.
But
what?
you can't not say it like it's a question. Oh. Has anyone been doing any? Well, people are writing their answers. Has anyone been doing any gaming today? I realised I didn't play any games yesterday at all, which is really odd for me. Not even for like a sneaky 10 minutes.
See, I played Animal Crossing yesterday, but I didn't play anything today yet.
Clocking in at over 70 hours now, Faye, on Animal Crossing, I
I know.
noticed.
I'm a bit of an addict.
Oh, Lee Emanuel says, I played many, many hours of Alpha Centauri. I think that was baffling. Like, I remember playing Colonization a lot. And I don't know the difference between colonization and civilization. I'm assuming it's just the time period it starts off. So I don't think I've played any of those games apart from colonization.
I haven't played any of them.
Oh, then there's Nancy's playing Fortnite. Are you still playing Phoenix Wrightley? See, the thing is with that game, right?
Oh, is that Phoenix Attorney?
Phoenix Wright Attorney at Law. It's really cool. I
Oh,
really liked it.
yes.
But I played it over the years, the different chapters, like different demos of different ones.
Really cool.
So I don't know if I should buy the full thing because I don't know how many of the cases I've done. So I don't know if I buy it and I've only like got 1 or 2 I haven't done, and that really irritates me. So
Yeah.
I need to get it in like a real serious sale to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, what name comes before Alpha Centauri, Colonization, Pirates, and Civilization?
Okay, so question 5. The Peter Gunn theme features heavily in which 1983 arcade game?
Could do it.
What?
You could do the theme to give people, because that's so people know what it is.
I'm confused.
Well, the Peter Gunn theme is a certain piece of music.
Oh yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Could do it. So as a clue, it's the Peter Gunn theme is dum 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 dum. I was flat.
Sorry, I was a bit confused what you're on about. And you could do the theme. So the Peter Gunn theme features heavily in which 1983 arcade game?
Ripper just says he's been playing Bomb Chicken on Switch, which sounds
What's
like a
Bomb
game that'll be
Chicken?
like 20 pence in a sale.
Sounds really. I bet it's awesome. Bomb chicken. Hope you don't bomb the chicken. That's quite cruel, isn't it?
You know that's purely what the game is. So on to question 6. What is odd about Rayman's body? What is odd about Rayman's body? The cat's really been having a go at you. I just noticed that.
Yeah, well, that's a burn.
Because you've been
Rest
so
of
much cooking.
scratches. I know. That's all I do is cook and clean now because I'm not on work. Literally.
Pinafore on, bonnet on.
Oh god. So what is odd about Raymond's body?
Is that that sort of little sprite you've got there? Is that?
That's nothing to do with Raymond. Sorry.
Is
that's
that
not
like an
Raymond.
official Mario? Or is that?
That is not an official Mario. Schmario.
Oh, Ripper just pointed out that it's chicken laying bombs instead of eggs.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I'm assuming it's by Quantic Dream, is it? Question 7, I'll let you do this one.
Developed by Nintendo, which third-person shooter sees you slinging around ink?
Was that the ink swinging?
A little bit, yeah. So developed by Nintendo, which third-person shooter sees you slinging around ink? Very lovely, cool game.
Looks really nice. I've never actually played it.
Don't say the answer.
Yeah, no, I
Really?
have a habit of doing this. We've done one each now, and that's all we're allowed.
Yeah. Even Stevens. I need to play more of this game, I think. Do we even own a copy of this game?
No,
I don't think we do.
No.
So, if you've done that, on to question 8.
Which is who played Colonel William Guile in the live-action Street Fighter movie? Who played William Guile? I think it's William F. Guile. William Guile in the live-action Street Fighter movie.
We'll have to watch that again.
I toyed around with this question quite a lot. Like
Really?
different characters, yeah. And it got me thinking about other movies that are based on games. And I realised that some of them I watched when I was so young. I couldn't even tell if they were good or bad. They were just these things that were just colours and sounds.
Yeah.
So I need to watch a few more, really.
Now's the time.
Now's the time to catch up.
Moving on to question 9. Which fictional character in Nintendo's Mario series is an evil version of Mario?
Nice, easy
You
one.
should know this.
Easy-ish.
Everyone should know this. I expect everyone to get this right. Shame on you if you don't. So which fictional character in Nintendo's Mario series is an evil version of Mario himself?
Lee just pointed out that you don't see many colonels who can do a sonic boom, and it's true that when you think of a colonel, you think of like a slightly older man who chain smokes with a big walrus
with a big
moustache.
moustache.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Jinx 1, 2, 3.
So, on to question 10. British gladiator Wolf appeared on the cover of which 8-bit game, oiled up and brandishing a sword? Bonus point, what was the game known as in the United States? So this is the only question with a bonus point available. So we've had some pretty close results in the quiz the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Like lots of people up in the late 20, mid to late 20s. So if you get this bonus point, this could be the one. This could be
like a tiebreaker, won't it?
It's also a bit of a tough question as well, so that's fine. So British gladiator Wolf appeared on the cover of which 8-bit game, oiled up and brandishing a sword? And a bonus point, what was the game known as in the United States? He also appeared on the sequel as well.
Alright.
Lee just pointed out Maria Whittaker as well.
Question 11. There you go.
Paul King, Marshall Law, and Nina Williams are characters from which video game series? So that's Paul King and Paul King, Marshall Law, and Nina Williams are characters from which video game series? We'll quick sort out. There we go. Let's not forget Maria Whittaker. Question 12?
Question 12. The original Doom game was set around which planet? And also this is a guess question. Thank you, Lee.
Yeah, another one.
So the original Doom game was set around which planet? Dun dun dun.
And I agree, Lee, as well. That's common.
Oh, yeah.
Classic.
Ooh, yeah.
So the original Doom game was set around which planet? Which planet?
Which planet? Dun dun dun.
Still haven't played the newest Doom game, actually. That's something that needs to happen.
I think you gave it away.
I did think as I said it, but no, it's not.
That's enough time, I think. Question 13.
Marilyn Manson, Powers Booth, and David Duchovny provide the voices in which 2005 first-person shooter? This is a tough one. I'm going to sugarcoat it. So Marilyn Manson, the power trio of Marilyn Manson, Powers Booth, and David Duchovny provided the voices in which 2005 first-person shooter? Yeah, Lee just pointed out he had a housemate who picked Eddie every time, button bashed and kicked his ass.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's because it's like, is it capoeira? The way they're spinning around, and Eddie, the thing is, you can't kind of, unless you really know the game, gauge his moves, because he spins around so much, and when he spins, there's two ways he would spin. That he could either then do a high or low attack, so it was totally 50-50. It was irritating.
Haven't played that.
Educated guess on this one? I'm intrigued to see what the answers are for this one.
Yeah. Question 14 then. So what is the iconic melee weapon in the game Half-Life? What's the weapon?
This is little one for everyone to get a little point on.
Yeah, it's an easy
After the last one, which was a bit saucy.
Easy piece of lemon squeezy.
So what is the iconic melee weapon in the game Half-Life? You probably don't have too much time on that one, really.
No, I think it's on to the next question.
Or me?
Yeah. Oh, me, yeah.
Yeah, no, you.
So GILIUS, Thunderhead, Axe Battler, and TYRIS are all characters from which game? I love this game as well.
Yeah, it's really good.
GILIUS, Thunderhead, Axe Battler, and TYRIS are all characters from which game? All brilliant names, aren't they?
They're full on.
Very strong names.
One of them's a bit dubious, obviously.
Yes.
Yes.
Should all know this one.
I'm afraid of saying too much in between questions in case
I know,
just
that's
trip
why I'm
myself up
keeping
and give the
stum.
answer. Stum? It's not good, you do too much.
Give everyone some peace during the questions.
Question 16. When playing the arcade game Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, what is the first song that you hear when the game starts? So that's, when the game starts, you tuck into the first level, what is the first song on the soundtrack? You said really different. The home
in comparison to the arcade.
Were really different, yeah. I think the arcade was 3 players.
I didn't think it was 3. It's 3, is it?
I think so, yeah. I'm sure it's like, you all play like, obviously a version of Michael Jackson with like a red suit, white suit and blue suit, I think.
Wasn't, yeah.
Or maybe a yellow suit.
I got a grey suit in my head.
A grey suit? It could be. Maybe it was grey suit. Lee, how many arcades did you have in your chip shop? I do remember that. I remember fruit machines being in like chip shops as opposed to...
Oh, you'd never leave the chip shop, would you?
Yeah, you go in there. 2 quid on chips, 3 quid in the fruity. Well, I know. I remember fruit machines being in chip shops, but not arcade games. That would have been stinking as well. The joystick must have been foul.
Well, they used to have them all in cafes and things, didn't they? So, again, stinking.
Yeah,
My local cafe, you could go at the back and they had about 15 machines out there.
Really? I think it was called Top 10 Video. It was like a video rental place at the back. They had it was like one with like Super Baseball 2020 on it. Super Baseball 2020, Mortal Kombat, and World Heroes, which I do like actually.
Brit trivia.
Philip Pittman pointed a very greasy. Oh my god, I do remember
You'd
that.
be sliding off the buttons, wouldn't you?
Yeah, trying to do the Sudoku. And in Pontypridd as well, Rainbow Records at the back used to have, oh god, it was like Aliens and Metal Slug.
Was that in the market? Place?
No, that was right at the side of the precinct when that used to be. That was like 20 plus years ago.
Lockdown,
Yep, it was a hellhole.
Moving on to question 17. What does Pokemon stand for? Is it portable monsters, pocket monsters, positive key monsters, or Pokemonsters? So what does Pokemon stand for? Portable monsters, pocket monsters, positive key monsters, or Pokemonsters? Which one I choose?
Primal Rage, I don't remember that one. I've got that on the Mega Drive. Not the best game in the world. Question 18. In the 16-bit game Sonic the Hedgehog, what zone do you start out on? Another one,
another easy one.
Another easy little tick there.
Been feeling like we've been very harsh the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
so
the next question is just is
brutal.
Is just all about you have to list every video game Michael Wincott has ever been involved in reverse chronological order.
Wow. A bit of a task, isn't it?
I think of one.
So in the 16-bit game Sonic the Hedgehog, what zone do you start out on? You should know this. Come on, you know it.
It would be quite cool to find if there was pictures of like people's hometowns and like what arcades were in chip shops. It's just a very specific thing to have.
Someone out there is probably taking photos.
Yeah, they were always like a bit broken, where people obviously, especially in a chip shop or kebab shop, people are going to be drunk playing it and just ramming it round.
Oh, that's grease.
Question 19. What is the name of the earliest bat and ball video game? Well, another quite simple one actually.
Yeah. Been quite easy and nice.
Everyone over 50 is going, I know who it is. It's Rise of the Robots. Another game that's not very good. I remember people getting excited about that game because it had Brian May playing guitar on the soundtrack. And what people didn't realise, obviously, on the Mega Drive, it's a MIDI game. It's MIDI music, so it's not going to be guitar music.
But they make out it is, though, don't they?
Mm.
Yeah, well, I need to, you judge by the cover art of the game, and when you purchase the game at the end of the day, don't you? I still do.
Well,
it looks good on the front, it looks good on the back, I'll buy it.
It was a decent watercolour drawing, I'm getting that. So, question 19.
It's got a good spine.
Bloody lovely spine. What is the name of the earliest bat and ball video game? And the final question in the general knowledge round, I'll let you handle this one.
So, if you pick up a heart in Castlevania, do you gain extra health, extra ammo, or extra points?
Might have to do a little top up.
So, if you pick up a heart in Castlevania, do you gain extra health, extra ammo, extra points? It's one of those three.
Oh, Lee just mentioned that the those arcade machines that are loads of NES games on, you pay for like 3 minutes as opposed, and you could just like quit out the game and start a new one. So it's almost like a rental by the minute thing.
Oh, so you don't have like 3 minutes, but you could just click on every game.
And go wherever you want, go to like all the games in there. I do remember those. I think I have played one, and I remember it was really uncomfortable because it's not like you knew you weren't going to get very far. It was like no skill. It's like when I know in all games you have to pump in money.
I suppose it's like for a little fee like that, that's awesome. But when you play in arcade games like Turtles or something, and you constantly pump in the 10p's, and there's game over, and you're 10p. And then you run out of money then, like you've got like 7 quid in there or something.
A coin consumer. Rupert pointed out, you couldn't jump over each other in Rise of the Robots. I think you could jump over each other, but you couldn't turn around, so then you just have to like awkwardly jump back over each other and be like, oh, sorry about that. That was awkward for both of us.
It was very awkward.
And that is the end of round 1. I was on a ferry last year and they had Xbox 360s and cabinets for £1 every 10 minutes. £1 for 10 minutes.
Wow, okay.
On a ferry, yeah, that is odd.
It's not a lot for 10, but then again, you don't want someone hogging the junior one of money, but...
Yeah.
I suppose it's good for 10 minutes. It's a long time, isn't it?
One of my favourite places when we were in Paris, and there was that replay, what's it called? And they had all the boxes and like sort of perspex cases.
Yeah.
And we went round all of it was like Dreamcast thing, and there was an arcade machine. We went around all of them, and you systematically beat me at everything we played.
On the Dreamcast Virtua Fighter?
It burned me.
Virtua Tennis, sorry.
Virtua Tennis, so you whipped my arse on. Virtua Street Fighter, boom, done. And it was just, I thought, can we play? And then we played a game, and I said, I'm going to beat you with this. And I didn't beat you, and it really burned me.
Sounds like you rubbish at games.
And there was, hush, I'm editing this out. And there was a load of French blokes, obviously, because we were in Paris, just blasted along to Rock Band with the full drums.
Yeah,
and they
that
were
was
really
really cool. The whole band there.
They played that before. I put it to you.
I wanted to go on that, but it was just a bit of a queue, wasn't it? They must go down every Friday night. Weird place like that around here.
So it's round 2, and this is Who Am I? And this is 10 characters from video games, and you've just got to name who they are. So this is the first one. I'm going to pour a drink while you...
right, actually I've got a water and I've got Diet Coke and vodka. So who is this? He looks really cool as well though, doesn't he? He just looks awesome.
It is a good character.
I'd wear that, I think. Little green jumpsuit number. I'll give you a bit more time.
What am I missing?
So we said Samantha Fox. Shh, you're giving her away.
She had a video game.
She?
Sure she did.
What's Samantha Fox?
Yeah. Well, like the Spectrum, it's some tragedy on the Spectrum.
We need that game.
Okay.
So you're probably bored of looking this awesome photo now, but there you go. That's number 2. So who's this cute little...
I got this wrong earlier on
Beauty.
when you were showing me these. Like,
Really? You couldn't get it?
I do like how these are in a TV though. I like that theme. That TV. I remember my grandfather had a TV like that had like a leather pouch on the side with the controls
wow,
on
really?
it. But the wire was about that long, and it wasn't one of the coily stretch ones. It was just like a straight cable. So you'd be like sitting there, and then you'd get up to like press the screen to like press the buttons, and he'd say like, "Oh, you use the controller," and then you'd like unpop the leather pouch, and then you just do this, and then when you've like pressed the button, like put it back in. It was totally pointless.
Oh, I bet it looked nice.
I
I'd
genuinely love to have that TV now, but yeah, it was colour at least, but it was just
They're
so
just beautiful, aren't they? Look at them. Just they're huge though, and then heavy.
yeah. And so the thing is, if you had that, you'd have to be sitting watching TV from like this far away with like the controller in front of you. It's like I'm an inch away from the TV, so I'll just use this controller. Which
We had like a 7-inch one, didn't we?
Careful
That we
now.
got rid of. TV.
Oh, that little it was almost like a camping TV thing.
Black and
wasn't
white camping TV. Like
it was
probably
good.
old, isn't it?
Massive. It worked pretty well actually, but difficult playing text.
Obviously, we
effects
plugged
as well.
a games console into it,
Yeah.
didn't we?
Oh, let's play Return to Zork. It was a strip poker game. Britt told me. Actually, Lee, you told me that it was a strip poker game.
You better have told you.
I thought it was a platformer.
That's right then, Lee.
If you want to see some busty platforming, you've got to get Elvira on the Commodore 64. Lee told me about that as well.
Brilliant.
So question 3.
Love this little dude. We haven't done a cheers.
Hmm?
We haven't done a cheers tonight.
Why would we do a cheers? We don't like each other. Love.
Showing off in front of your friends. So who is this? He's off marching somewhere, isn't he?
You keep saying he.
She? He? Do you know actually, don't you?
Yeah, I've always thought the other way, but I have to find out.
Awkward.
Chessington.
Thought Park?
Drayton Manor. Is Drayton Manor even a thing anymore?
It used to be, didn't it? Probably not anyway.
Welcome back to defunct British theme parks with Britt and Faye.
They probably are all.
I haven't been to a theme park in a very long time.
No.
So don't
I
trust
be
them.
quite nervous now. You know, as you get older, you get a bit nervous. You get the fear then, don't you?
Hey, everything's creepy and rusty, you think.
Yeah, I could just about stand the ones in the VR.
If I want to go somewhere full of things that are creepy and rusty, I'll go to my dad's shed. Save myself 80 quid. Question 4. Is that in 4K?
I thought you were going to say who it was then. No, it's not 4K, alright? Only recently, I've never grown up playing this game, but I'm not even going to say what console or what because.
Ah, you see,
I was
I'm
nearly gonna
waiting for
say
you to give
something
up a
then.
question because you're due.
But I was addicted to this game and everything about it and the music and put a lot of hours into it then, didn't we? Very expensive game to purchase, hence why we don't have it.
We're talking about obviously theme parks, and Lee just said if it's not Pensacana Wildlife Park, I don't want to hear about it.
Oh, Pensacana, did they have a wildlife park?
I don't know. I've never been past Wookie Hole and Folly Farm myself.
I'm a Pantglass Farm. Like a farmy thing going on. Exciting, isn't it?
Question 5, or rather image 5. Pensacana Wildlife Park.
Where is Pensacana?
I don't know, it's just one of those places. I remember playing a gig once in we were driving there, because I don't drive, I was just in the car driving with the guys to a show, and then we drove past a sign, and I said, Abersychen, where are we? And we got out of the car at Abersychen, and a woman came across and just started banging on a window opposite me, shouting, "Murderer! Murderer!" through the window.
Were you to burgers or something?
No, I was just outside, and she was like banging on a window on a house opposite where the gig was, just going, "Murderer! Murderer!" And then she went in next door, and she shouted across to me, because I was just sort of looking in front, and she said, "He murdered my daughter." And I said, "Oh."
Okay.
As if, like, that's why I'm doing that, by the way. It's like, I wouldn't live next door to someone who had done that.
That's quite creepy. Okay, bye, see you next week. Put
Yeah.
your windows
Oh,
back,
sorry, I didn't
lock the
realise. Yeah,
doors.
off your trot then. So
moving on to number 6.
which, yeah, I didn't know this one. No, we were going through the questions earlier on. So
Very strong, isn't he? Or she?
can't stop looking at that TV that you've used as a. I'm trying to think what they got. There's a volume there that's down, or power button, and then just a load of.
You're looking at the purple bit on it.
I don't know what that little bit is. Oh, that's probably the tuner, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
those TVs.
And the noise.
I remember
What was
playing a game. I won't mention it just in case it somehow gives something away in this quiz, but on the Master System on a black and white TV, like well after colour had been introduced with like a cousin or something, and I thought, why have you got a black and white TV? It's really off-putting. I do not know who this gentleman is, says Rupert. That's obviously Iron Fist.
You can't have
isn't
half
it?
a point for saying gentleman. Sorry.
Yeah, you know his gender. Question 7. Oh,
Say no more, This is when you should be quiet.
here they come.
You're gonna cry.
Yes,
This is your favourite character in the world, isn't it?
it is. I always cry when I see Geralt of Rivia.
Show 1 minute silence.
I'm sure that's like a late 90s industrial metal band.
Bye.
The cat's being like surprisingly.
It's because you got a thick jumper on.
He's
So-
wearing a winter clothes. Ooh, London City Nights. I know where he's from, but not his name. Yeah. So we'll see. Question 8. Look at those shoes. Glorious. He must have put on like a purple hat, purple top, and they put on his grey dungarees and thought, "Oh, silly man, I've got my mustard shoes on yet to complete this outfit." It would probably be quite funny actually if you got a load of characters in video games and just describe what they were wearing and just really in really direct format. His nose as well. He needs to turn his heating up. Question 9. I didn't know this one. I only know Hirsute Men, none of this pink lady
She
nonsense.
doesn't know who you are either. She's like,
Yeah, she is kind of. In fact, if you look at her left hand, it's like she's calling me something as well.
we're Italian.
You say, you know, you're such an Italian. And the final one in this round.
Seen a lot of him lately. He's like one of the family.
Here come the tears. And that's it. And the next round is a music round.
Yeah. Brace yourselves. There's only 5 questions, is there, this week? Because we had issues with the sound the last couple of weeks. We didn't want to put you through the pain of putting like 10 questions of awesome tunes. But
Yeah, so hopefully with new microphones we'll make it sound a lot better. So we thought we'd put in 5 questions, and if it sounds really good and if it's totally clear, then next week we'll go back up to 10.
Yeah.
Do you want to get the comments out just so we can, in case there's a... Do you panic then?
I'm going to drop my phone on the floor.
No, I wouldn't do that. Okay, so here we are. I'm just checking everything's good. Okay, so
yeah, me too, Rupert.
this is the first of 5.
So that's number 1.
Hopefully, did that sound? Was the sound okay on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with you. Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
ask
you heard that, Brett? You sat next to me, though, mate. Just checking that the sound is okay.
Rupert said, "Pretty sure B&F have this on vinyl." Yep, that is very true.
New mic is great. Oh, nice.
Oh,
yeah.
Yay! Thank you.
That's awesome to know. That was the one concern we had.
Yeah, it's worth it then, isn't it?
Okay, so this is 2 of 5. We stopped before the money shot.
You should know this.
Well, every song, every game, every time we listen to anything for these quizzes, it's always a turkey knacker.
Oh, you have to, didn't you?
Always going in there.
Well, that was kind of more of a...
So this is a more subtle one. This is 3.
That went on, didn't it?
2 minutes. Or do you want to work the magic see if okay? Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it?
I didn't know that one. And this is 4 of 5.
Love that.
I know you love it.
Never gets old. Like
it's one you kind of know what system it's off, and you know exactly what kind of genre it is and who made it, but I wouldn't know the title of it. And this is one. Get the hankies ready.
This is the final one.
This is the 5th one. This is the last one in the round.
So we let that go on for a bit longer, which was awesome.
I love the comments there of like London Tonight saying, "Oh, classic," and then followed by, "Yeah, it was used in an Ariston advert," and it just completely like, "Oh, the majesty is gone." But yeah, yeah, that's a glorious, glorious song, and I'm just glad the microphone works.
Yeah.
40 quid well spent.
That's not too bad, is it?
No, it came on a little stand as well, a little shot-proof stand.
Oh, he's so cute. Oh,
Happy. So yeah, that was the music round, and this leads us on. Oh, let me turn this down.
Oh.
This leads us on to
The final round now.
Yes. So this is a guest round from Rupert. So Rupert, your score doesn't count on this one.
Yeah, thanks, Ru, because this, when Britt told me, it's just genius.
It's
You're
really
a clever
good.
man.
I kind of wish you were here to read them out.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You could say them in Rupert's voice.
Oh yeah.
the lyrics that are
That's not his voice.
if I were to the
Perhaps not, because it'll take ages. So
Oh, okay.
say in your normal voice.
So you've got to guess. These are limericks that describe games, and there's 5 of them. So thank you so much to Rupert for this round, 'cause it's amazing. And you've got to. I'll just read out the limerick, and you've got to guess what game it refers to. So I thought I was going to do it, but I'm not. I'm actually going to. No, this is
sing with me.
There it is. Pardon me. There was an old guy named Ryan who couldn't be stopped for trying. Atlas was there, and he seemed to care, but then we found out he was lying. Brilliant.
What could that be? What game is that?
Do you want to go? It is really fun to read out limericks if you fancy a go.
Oh yeah, I'll read the next one if you like.
Oh, I can read the next one, you
Or I
bet.
can read them all after you.
Well, we'll read them together in different pitches so we kind of harmonise. There was an old guy named Ryan who couldn't be stopped for trying. Atlas was there and he seemed to care, but then we found out he was lying.
So that was number 1. I don't know if you want a bit more time to really lap it up.
You drink it in.
He was lying.
On to the second one.
Yep.
Go on, then you can do this one.
Oh,
Do you want me to do this one?
yeah.
I've never seen those words. Novigrad stank in the fog, and the Baron drank like a dog. Cyrilla was lost at a terrible cost, while the witches schemed in the bog.
Those pesky witches.
Sons of witches. So that's Novigrad stank in the fog, and the Baron drank like a dog. Cyrilla was lost at a terrible cost, while the witches schemed in the bog. Such a good idea for a round. I'm glad I thought about it and told Rupert to send us these.
Oh, I know copied off his name before you even knew.
Yeah. It is. I'm a big fan of the great Gianna sisters as well, Lee.
Oh, London City United said these limericks are awesome. Yeah, thank Rupert. Because
Yeah. It's such a good idea.
he needs a badge. Maybe he needs a sticker.
Well, because he's been to the dentist and he's 4. We'll get you a Super Ted and Spotty sticker, Rupert.
My nose is running.
Okay, the planet of Sarah is falling, the locusts have come and they're swarming. You and your crew know what you must do, gun down the horde until morning.
How about a 5 free points, Rupert? So that's very cheeky, isn't it? But I'll let Brit decide.
Oh, this limerick round needs to
Maybe
carry
that
on.
could be a thing. If you do it, contribute, you can have a point.
Well, that's a rule that hasn't been discussed in our Kingdom of Cards HQ
I did try.
chambers.
I tried. So. Oh, my eye.
Lee's summed it up with how about no? How about no?
Well, no, because he didn't have
So,
any.
the planet of Sarah is falling. The locusts have come and they're swarming. You and your crew know what you must do. Gun down the horde until morning. Do you want to do the next one?
Go on then, have a go. And this is a long one. Okay.
Come on.
No, I'm gonna laugh now. Federation was under attack. Sorry. Federation was under attack. Mother Brain didn't come for a chat. A hero arose. What under those clothes? Ridley was up for a scrap. That was a good one. So you made me laugh then. So it wasn't a good start, was it? It's like I can't read properly. I can read, I promise.
I love it. I just love the thought of like whoever like wins, everyone who like wins this each week, They get like in the post, and their partner stand next to them. They open up the Kingdom of Cuts like celebration pack from winning the quiz, and it's just like a load of those lollies that's just like green on a stick and like a see-through wrapper, and like a badge of Super Ted. And then their like wife would say, "Oh, did you go to the dentist?" Like, yeah.
Comes with a chart as well.
I don't know, 2 points off last week. It's true you did. Okay then, and the final limerick is: Young Bobbin raised his staff and wove a magic draft. He played all his notes to the gathered old blokes, but the guild looked on and laughed. I'll do that again. Yeah, I have to say last time.
That wasn't very good then. That wasn't very good.
Oh, it's like that, is it? Young Bobbin raised his staff and wove a magic draft. He played all his notes to the gathered old blokes, but the guild looked on and laughed. Here we go. It's a good round, that is.
That was genius.
And that
is the end of the quiz.
Is the end of the quiz. So this is out of 36. Let me do some quick math.
And have like a little bit of a think. The last round.
A little bit of a
Need a bit more time. Yeah, I need to drink. So next week there's not going to be a music round. There's going to be you singing them now.
Everything. That one song on loop. Oh my god, I could quite happily sit here and just like whistle my way through Landstalker though.
Or we could do whistling round and up from there.
Bloody hell.
Right, so that's the end of the quiz, and I suppose you want to know the answers now, so...
Although I can, before you change the answers, I could do an amazing Kabuki Quantum Fighter whistling round. Because that would be... Because that's pretty much all it is.
I feel like a spaceship was coming down.
Yeah, an awesome spaceship.
It's time for the answers.
Oh,
move us out the way.
You're doing it, you? You're working the magic. That's the wrong screen, it's over there. Right then, so, are you going to... Do you want me to do it, or have you...
So, these are the answers, as you can tell. So we have question 1. Was, in which arcade game do you have to finish around the world quest to destroy bouncing balloons that are terrorising several of Earth's landmarks and cities? And the answer is Pang.
Or Buster Brothers, if you wrote that, that's cool as well.
Yeah. What year was the Game Boy released in Japan was question number 2. Was it 1989, 1990, 1991 or 92? And the answer was 1989. Question 3. Which actor voiced ADRIAN RIPBURGER in LUCASARTS 1985 graphic adventure Full Throttle? And the answer was Mark Hamill. Question 4. What name comes before Alpha, Centauri, Colonization, Pirates and Civilization? And the answer is Sid Meier. Question 5.
So question 5 is the Peter Gunn theme dun 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 features heavily in which 1983 arcade game? And that is Spy Hunter. Question 6 was what is odd about Rayman's body? He has no limbs. He's got no arms or legs.
Question 19, London City Knights was asking. We should have asked did they want it. Here the answer.
Is it okay? So he's being a massive pedant about question 19. Are you going to say something like Space War? I'll say that. So I'll move on to as he's typing.
I see. Right. Okay. Yeah.
So developed by Nintendo, which third-person shooter sees you slinging around ink? And that is Splatoon. Who played William Guile in the live-action Street Fighter movie? That is Jean-Claude Van Damme, JCVD. Which fictional character in Nintendo's Mario series is an evil version of Mario? And the answer is Wario. Question 10. British gladiator Wolf appeared on the cover of which 8-bit game oiled up and brandishing a sword? The bonus point is what was the game known as in the United States? And it's Barbarian, and in America it was known as Death Sword. Question 11. Paul King, Martial Law and Nina Williams are characters from which video game series? And the answer, of course, is Tekken.
Question 12. The original Doom game was set around which planet? Thank you, Lee. And the answer was Mars. Oh, I've lost my train of thought. Marilyn Manson, Powers Booth and David Duchovny provide the voices in which 2005 first-person shooter? And the answer is Area 51. Question 14. What is the iconic melee weapon in the game Half-Life? And the answer is crowbar. Question 15, favourite game of mine. GILIUS, Thunderhead, Axe Battler and TYRIS Flare are all characters from which game? Yes, it's Golden Axe. Number 16, when playing the arcade game Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, what is the first song that you hear when the game starts? And it is Smooth Criminal. Question 17, what does Pokemon stand for? And the answer was Pocket Monsters. Not Pokemonsters like Brit though. Question 18. In the 16-bit game Sonic the Hedgehog, what zone do you start out on? And of course it's Green Hill Zone. Question 19. What is the name of the earliest bat and ball video game? It is Pong. And number 20 the question was, if you pick up a heart in Castlevania, do you gain extra health, extra ammo, extra points? And the answer is extra ammo. You'd think it would be health, being a heart, but it's not.
Yeah, that was the genius. So yeah, how did everyone do in that round with out of the 20? I'm intrigued. And we're back. Yeah, just wanted to know how everyone has done in that round out of 20. See where the scores are going like into the other answers.
20 out of 20 probably, isn't it?
I love knowing the scores. 15 out of 20, that's pretty solid, Rupert. That's a good score. 18 out of 20 is cheating. I'm taking 3 points off just because I got low scores in his quiz.
Just jealous.
14, 13, knocked a point off from my own question. Oh, Lee. Good. Okay, so this is all looking tasty. So we're going into the second.
Fire water, 14. That's still really.
It's all pretty close. There's loads to play for. Oh, hang on. Let me move this out of the way again. So the round 2 answers. One was Fox McCloud, not Connor McCloud, like Faye thought from Highlander.
I did not think that. I mean, they look similar.
It's my turn to talk. Number 2 was Dixie Kong. I thought it was Daisy Kong for some reason.
No.
Number 3 is the asexual Kirby. I don't know if it's a man or woman. Although when I think of the name Kirby, I think of General Franklin Kirby from Commando, so to me it's a dude. Number 4 is Ness from Earthbound, or Mother 2. Number 5 was Mega Man. 6 is Victor. Did you remember his full name? I said, it's Frank, isn't it? It's like Frankenstein from the Darkstalkers series. And you said, it's Victor von. Yeah, so Victor will do, but it's not Frank like I thought. 7 is Guybrush Threepwood, who London City Nights rightly pointed out as if I lost a bit of weight, I could probably convincingly roleplay as. Number 8 is Waluigi, who our friend Chris could just convincingly roleplay as. Number 9 is Amy. From Sonic, I pretty much stopped with Sonic after like Sonic 3 and stuff, and then Sonic Mania, so I don't actually ever seen her in a game. And number 10 is Tom Nook, even though I've never played Animal Crossing, I think even I owe money to.
Which everyone in the world owes hundreds and hundreds of bells to, and thousands of bells.
Hagar for 6. Oh, like a different version of Hagar, Rupert, is it? Like in some sort of, like a futuristic spin-off sort of thing. That makes sense. It's wrong. I said Frank.
Yeah, he's from Darkstalkers.
He is from Darkstalkers, Lee. Which is also called, like, what's it called? Vampire Chronicles as well? I'm not sure how the chronology works with that. Okay then. So the music quiz, number 1 was Outrun, 2 was Aladdin, 3 was Secret of Mana, 4 was Kirby's Dream Land, that's 2 Kirby questions, good, and 5 was Robocop on the Game Boy. I've listened to the Commodore 64 version of it as well, but the Game Boy version is just better, yeah. It's just brighter. So before we come up to the final round, the 4th Limerick round, which Rupert is going to have to knock 5 marks off for himself. How are we all doing? 3 of the 5. Come on, guys.
That's not good though.
2 out of 5. I'm guessing the ones people struggled on was Secret of Mana and Kirby's Dream Land. Yeah. I would say they're the 2 that I would struggle with. Because the thing is, it's not recognising them, it's placing them. Yeah,
it's difficult, isn't it? I find it difficult.
Yeah. 1. Yeah,
better than though.
It's true. Well, Lee is supposed to be some sort of wizard when it comes to quizzes, so I don't know what's wrong with him.
What happened there then?
Stop drinking.
Probably having a bad day.
Oh, you got Secret of Mana. Oh, I wouldn't have got that at all. To me, it would have just blended into like that Final Fantasy,
cool.
Secret of Mana,
yeah.
Chrono Trigger.
Outrun was the other one probably.
And on to the final one. So there was an old guy named Ryan who couldn't be stopped for trying. Atlas was there and he seemed to care, but then we found out he was lying. That's Bioshock, which is a game that got me through a dark period of my life, and I'll always love. And also, generally, like a really good twist, spoiler alert at the end, where I thought, you little tinker. Chrono Trigger, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It just goes into that kind of JRPG pot, 16-bit pot in my head that I don't know what they are. So number 2, Novigrad stank in the fog, and the Baron drank like a dog. Cyrilla was lost at a terrible cost, while the witches schemed in the bog.
Witcher 3.
Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. One of my favourite moments in that game is there's a bit where you have to get a lantern that allows you to see ghosts with Geralt, and there's an option when you're with Triss and you can like go your separate ways, and she goes to Kaer Morhen. You can say you say in the previous sort of sentence that I'm going to go and stop the witches, but there's a selection you can say where he just goes, right, I'm off to the bog. Oh my god, I wish I'd filmed him saying it.
He's a brilliant man.
So number 3, the planet of Sera is falling. The locusts have come and they're swarming. You and your crew know what you must do. Gun down the horde until morning. That is Gears of War. You don't have to get the specific one. Just anything in these franchises is fine, in these series. And Federation was under attack. Mother Brain didn't come for a chat. A hero arose. What's under those clothes? Ridley was up for a scrap.
Of course he was.
Metroid. If you wrote Super Metroid, that's actually Rupert. If they wrote Super Metroid, would you accept that? We'll leave this up to Rupert. It's his round.
So was that 2 points?
Oh?
Was that a bonus point?
No, but if they, because I would have written Super Metroid.
Oh, I see what you mean. Right, sorry, yeah.
Because that was the biggest one in the series. So we'll let Rupert decide if that is acceptable for people to write Super Metroid. I want 10 dogs.
He's thinking.
So number 4 was Bubble Bobble. Oh, Kirby's... No, you didn't think Kirby's Dream Land was Bubble Bobble. I won't accept that.
Oh, yeah, it's quite
Of
fun.
course, it's Christmas. Nice to
Oh,
so yeah,
well
if you've written
done.
Super Metroid, you get a mark for that as well.
And the last one is young Bobbin raised his staff and wove a magic draft. He played all his notes to the gathered old blokes, but the guild looked on and laughed.
Laughed. You got to make it.
Laughed.
Laughed. So yeah, how is
Sloom.
So yeah, it's Loom, which is an amazing game, which I do need to replay. I won't replay The Secret of Monkey Island because it's in a special locked box in my head of solid majesty and gold.
Don't
But I
open
will
that
replay
box.
Loom.
Don't open the box. Just look at the guide.
3 out of 5. So then, out of 36, did anyone get Death Sword? Because I thought that was a nice little sneaky bonus point.
That was flying round, wasn't it?
So how did everyone do
grabs.
here? I still don't believe that Rupert thought number 4 was Bubble Bobble. Because it's this. Oh, 5. Oh, Fire and Water 49 sailed through that round. Fair play. I know he's 12 miles away from me, but I know he's doing this.
He's pushing his glasses up.
Yeah, he's pushed his glass up his nose. Shows again now. 35 in total. That's pretty tasty.
What?
25 out of 36. You got 35 out of 36.
This is 25 out of 36. Oh wow, 35 out of 36.
25. Oh, so a draw with Rupert and Lee London nice with 35. And I said, no, it is out of. Are you sure you got 35?
He wants that lollipop.
That is you want your bloody Super Ted Spotty sticker. 26. Oh, high five.
Oh wow.
So that's pretty saucy. So yeah, Rupert with 25, London nice with 35. Lee with 25 and Fire and Water with 26. That's pretty impressive stuff, actually. That's really good scores. Oh, there's 40 in total.
Oh. It's because we're thick from the valleys, you see.
I see. I must admit, I did sleep and
You're the
count
one
this up
who
quickly.
you tied them up.
I am literally the one in charge of tallying this up when I've done it wrong. Oh,
'cause
fair
you
enough
can't
then.
count.
It's next time I'm going to do this with an
Because
abacus.
he failed his maths GCSE.
Math, GCSE. So there's 40 in total. So 35 out of 40, 25 out of 40. Yeah, so that's pretty saucy.
Oh, 41 with a bonus point. Oh, come on.
Yeah. So did anyone get the Death Sword bonus point? Because I thought that was a bit tricky. I like how there's a delay. We just both like head down. Come on. Yeah, that was a tough.
Well,
one.
awesome whoever did anyway, because that was.
Yeah, if anyone
quite
did, high
tricky one,
five.
wasn't it?
But yeah, I really like that limerick round, Rupert. So if you want to do another one for next one, that's really cool. And if anyone else comes up with any rounds or questions they fancy, fire them over to me or email them to kingdomofcarts@outlook.com. and we'll kind of splice them in because it is really fun, all this stuff. And of course, I would never have thought of a limerick round. But that's amazing.
It's because you're a genius.
No one got it. No one got Death Sword. There's a game called Death Stalker. And if you get a chance after this quiz to go online, type in Death Stalker on the Amstrad or Commodore 64. And tell me who the man on the front looks like. And you know, if you'd ever seen that game in W.H. Smith's, they would have thought, that's copyright infringement, that is.
Yeah, totally.
So, well, high five to London City Knights and
Once again.
And also
Well done.
Fire and Water, who was second, I think, from looking at
Yeah.
26, 25. So yeah, high five. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. It's been
Well, that was
awesome.
exactly an hour as well. That's really well timed. And next time there'll be a 10-question music round because
round,
we
yeah.
know it works now.
Of Brit whistling. The music.
Whistling the Landstalker.
No, really.
No, that would be amazing. I'd do that. I don't go to bed for less than 400 quid. So,
Have a good night.
yeah, love to everyone. Have an awesome night. And we shall see you next Friday at 8.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.